probably
we're all here now, so good. Thank you for joining me. First thing I noticed that everybody is continuing, just like Gene was talking about, is reviewing everything, and this is the last week. Make sure that we stay on to get all their work in. Make sure that we do audits and see what they're missing. I've been appreciating all the emails that have been going out so that they know what they lack. I've got one. I'm down to one. So I've got one, Michelle, who's not. I have one. She put in 20-something pieces of work today. But she put them in. She hadn't put anything in, I think, all semester. She finally got them in today. So I'm down to one. She's got enough to pass, but I'm down to one. So I've got, you all are all the same way. But, yes, please continue to follow up with them to make sure that that we don't get to the end here and got too many people. I guess what I kind of expand on what Gene and I were talking about a minute ago. On the interns, you know, the internship, the 697 is pass fail. If they've done anything, we pass them. The only way they don't pass is if they didn't do anything, and that's the policy of the university. The clinical experience. Now, our saving grace is, of course, our hours. I mean, that's on them if they don't get their hours, or eventually if they don't get all their activities. But if you have 697s, 698s, or 699s, and they did anything, then that would be a pass, even if they've just communicated with you, because they're allowed to go. You know how that is. They're allowed to stay in internship, indefinitely. We'd like for them to finish up.
Not for very long.
But that's kind of the way that works. So on the classes, if we have people who are not going to pass, let's look at if at all possible doing incompletes, and we can have them audited in the summer. And again, we may have to just do some incompletes with no audits. For example, a 601. If you've got somebody in 601 who's not going to make it, we can do an incomplete, but they won't be able to do an audit because we don't have 601 this summer. We'll do an audit if we can, but if we can't do an audit, they'll just have to do an incomplete, and we'll just have to keep up with them. It's easier for us, and they're more successful if they can do an audit. It's not that expensive, but if there's non-class offered, then they'll just have to do the incomplete and work that off this summer. And the incomplete would last the entire summer, since it's just 10 weeks. That would be, they normally get, 90 days? Summer's not even 90 days long. So we would do incomplete contracts for the summer session, and they would have to have it basically done before next semester starts on August 22nd.
Dale, people like Phoenix. What are we going to do with people like Phoenix? Are they going to be allowed to go into 605?
We're going to give them incompletes and have them audit.
So they're not going to go into 605.
Not people like Phoenix.
That's what I mean, because she'll never be able to do it.
No. What we're talking about, let's be clear here, is that on Phoenix is too far away. And so she's not going to be able to pass 605. Normally what we would do is, if they're close enough, we'd pass them in 605, give them a B or a C, whatever, and just have them do 699 starting in the summer. But with somebody that's not close enough to even pass, we'll do an incomplete on the class, and then they'll have to work it off this summer. We shouldn't.
Okay, Dale.
Yes.
I have one, Barbara Hayward.
Yeah.
And she does not have enough points to pass the class. She has recently turned a few things in, but I don't, unless she just turns in 27 things in this week, she's not going to have enough to pass. So she'll get an incomplete
and
and
we'll
audit
try.
603 in the summer?
Yeah, we'll have those that we will not let them go on to the next class. We'll do an
Okay, good.
incomplete and make them basically retake the class that they did this semester in the summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
And
want to pass them
can't-
along.
Yeah, I can't get Barbara to communicate with me at all.
Yeah, that's
I've
what
tried.
She
we're not going
Maybe
we're not going to
with me.
pass them along and because we know they're not going to catch
Right.
up in the summer.
right.
But
Okay, that's good.
that's what I'm talking about. I've
I
got
will
one.
communicate that.
Michelle, I've got one right now. My other one, I told you what last week this time that I had 3. Well, 2 of them have responded, gotten their work in. I've still got one that she's got just barely enough points to pass. So she'll pass with a lower grade. She'll pass and can move on. But if they don't meet that threshold to pass, we're going to give them incompletes and not let them keep going.
Okay, good.
Dale, to give them an incomplete and not have to retake it and just pass them like with a B,
Yeah,
do they have to have a skip and the OMA for 603 finished?
they
Because
have.
that's what I'm telling mine.
That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
We
If they have the OMA and the skip finished, and then just enough points to get a B, then we let them go.
yes.
Okay.
But if they've only done the OMA, even if they've got enough points to pass, and they hadn't done both of them, I would not pass them. I'd incomplete them and make them catch it up this summer.
That was my point. That's what
Yeah.
I wanted to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Okay. I have a question about it, Pauline.
Yeah.
Then
Yes.
she finally got the OMA, and she is working carefully on the skip. What is she supposed to do? Is she in the add-on or is she in the regular program?
She's in the regular program.
So if she completes the OMA, I can pass her.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes. We put her in an add-on class because we didn't have a regular, but also to try to get her caught back up.
Good job, Barbara. Good job.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that the evaluators will pass it, but at least we got it together.
We've made progress, though. That's the point.
Yeah. And so
It's almost done. I'm almost positive that she's,
yeah.
for some reason, she didn't put task 1 in when she submitted it.
That's
I know
right. She left
did
the
it.
first one out. I sent it back. I told her to get that added and send it in.
Yeah. Well,
Do you need me to do a school visit with Barbara Hayward? Because this is her second incomplete.
yes.
Well, she finished the class for the 601, and she has finished the artifacts for 601, but she has not done the artifacts in 603, and she doesn't have enough points. Not for this.
Well, we're not going to let her continue to go on then. She's going to get started.
Right.
She's going to have to audit 603 and do a retake.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we're all on the same page here. But excellent
Okay,
job,
that sounds
Barbara
good.
about who you want to ring
and
with.
Jean with Pauline. But the idea with her was to try to get her back on track where she has the opportunity now to take 2 classes and finish in December. Her problem would have been if we only let her do 1 this semester. Danny and I talked about this. If we only let her do 1 this semester, we don't normally get anything out of her in the summer. And then we'd have gone to the fall, 3 to do in the fall. That wouldn't have happened. We need to get her to the point where she does the cap this summer, and all she has to do this fall is the SOP. And even then, if we can get her to the fall where she just got to finish up her cap and her SOP where it's possible. But her MO has been we don't hear from her in the summers.
Well, the skip has just started. I'm not sure she's going to do the skip.
Well, I mean, we got to get her. you know, you've got her rolling now. So, but yeah, if you get one out of her, we're fine.
Well, she's got to get the skip done sometime.
Yeah. But
Dale, I do have 3 that I am very concerned about, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure that they're going to get it together.
Yeah.
Andrea Mattress, I talked to her on the phone, and she told me she didn't have an option. She had to get her work done, and I've seen 1 assignment since then. So I don't know what land she's living in and what she thinks she can do in a week and a half, but I don't see how anybody can do the OMA and HIP in a week and a half.
well,
And
They
Wheelies and Mattress, neither one of them have anything in their competency folios, and I've been on them since the beginning.
yeah. Yeah.
And actually, Wheelies told me she hadn't set hers up yet. I mean, she admitted she never set it up.
No, these people, we'll incomplete them and make them basically just start again this summer. That's really not all we can do with them. I mean, that's the most appropriate thing to do. We don't pass people along.
Well, we have really tried, Dale.
I
We've
know.
been on them.
I mean, we have to have their acquiescence or their help. And so if they don't, but we're not kicking it down the road.
Yeah.
So Barbara Haywood she's in, that would be Rachel. It's going to have to go see her. She's in Goose Creek.
Right. I was just there today.
All righty.
Yep, I'll get in touch with her. I'll probably schedule it through her principal. That's easier.
That would be a good idea. And go have what we now refer to as critical conversations. What Ron Thompson
prayer meeting.
What Ron Thompson used to call a come to Jesus meeting.
That's me.
So that's so we'll
I
have
know
to
how to do those.
a come to Jesus meeting. So critical
And
conversation.
I'll call you tomorrow, Rachel, about my last conversation with her and what she's turned in since then.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Everybody's good with the summer schedule. I got that out to you. It looks like the fall, it looks like the numbers, they mimic those of last fall, which would be 8 classes and new ones. That'd be 2 regular and 6 add-ons is what I'm projecting right now from the numbers. Now, that may end up being 5 classes. It was on the cusp last fall, but it's looking like 2 and 6 again. We've got people lined up to do that. That we'll have a bunch of 605s in the fall. Not so many 603 add-ons because we don't teach 601 in the summer. So as usual, y'all will have to roll up. You 603 people will have to roll up the 605 for the fall. Please remember that Steve Stone, I didn't see Steve with us, but Steve, he's going to pilot. 605 will be the same this summer. He's going to pilot all that. He wants to run it himself this summer. So the new 605 will roll out this fall. So for those of you who normally teach 603 who know in the sequence that we have to roll up coming out of summer with no new ones, that you will normally been teaching 603, you'll roll up to 605 as you normally do in the fall. Please remember, don't be thinking about your old 605 shells. Steve's going to pilot the new one, so be ready. We'll be meeting in August one way or the other, and we will get that new 605 shell ready at that time. But I'm just
Okay.
keep you in the loop.
Dale,
We're not doing it this summer.
Dale, I'm doing 605 this summer, but I don't have a 605 shell. I mean, it's in there, but I don't have anything in it.
So what we'll do is we will share with you. That's what I needed to know. We will share with you the standard 605 shell for summer that we've been using. So drop me an email if
Okay.
you want me to do that, and I will get you the standard 605 that we've been using for this summer. It will not be the new one. I talked to him about that either Thursday or Friday, and we have made that decision. He wants to run some of these things this summer first before I thought we would do it this summer, but he's not ready, and that's okay.
Okay.
I feel better that he knows that we're not ready than to do something that we're not ready to do.
So then will I stay in 605 in the fall, but just move to the new version?
Probably will have to stay in 605 in the fall, but
Okay.
it'll be a new shell. So
Okay.
that was my point. If you normally do 603 and you're doing 605 this summer, you'll probably have to do 605 in the fall. It'll be a different shell for the fall.
Same textbooks?
Okay.
It won't be the same textbooks.
Okay.
He wants to keep Glickman, but he doesn't want to keep Hersey and Blanchard.
Okay.
So
So, Dale,
that
I
means
have,
all the activities will change.
right.
Okay.
Dale, I have 603 posted in my Blackboard. So you said Seth would be changing that?
Yeah, whenever he gets back, I copied him. I think he's coming back this week.
Okay.
He'll have to change that. Yeah, I wanted to revisit that.
Okay.
I'm glad that's where I was headed next here is let's look at this and make sure that we're all on the same page for the summer. Here it comes. All right, for the summer, Sarah, you've got a 605 for this
Right.
summer. Rachel,
Mhm.
Anita Sanders, Steve Stone, y'all will be teaching 605 this summer. Of course, those will roll off, but all this big bunch of 601s that are 603s this summer, they will roll into the fall, and so that's what I was talking about. These will not, they will, this group will get the new shell that they got the new shell in 601. They got the new shell in 603. And Steve is right. We probably just would need to wait for them, and they'll then have the new shell in 605. We've been doing the new shell with this group. And so we'll just hold off till fall, and they'll get the new. They don't know any different. But for us, we know that it's a different shell. But, yeah, they got the new one. They've had the new one each time, so we'll wait till they get till fall till they get through, and they'll get the new shell. So this is the summer. There's 4 classes. Me and Danny will have those. Robin and John, Jamal will coach on the side, and then 602, Malia and Karen will have it. Dr. Laws and I have the weekend classes. Lisa Barnes will be working with us. Then the 605s, Whitaker's on, Sanders, Stone, Todd and Talent have the 603 regulars. And then Rebecca has the 605 regular. So I think that's everybody. We've got this one, and then we'll going into the fall, of course, these 2 will be 603 regulars. This class will make again in the fall. It's already made. It's been a big hit. Who'd have thought that they'd like me and Laws? You know, who'd have thunk it? And so it's been a big hit. It's already made another cohort. We thought after the first one that surely everybody quit and we'd be done with this and get weekends off every now and then. But no, we've made one in the summer and the fall. So,
What happens when you do a good job?
I don't know. I told him, we should have done less. Of course, that'd been hard, but we should have done less. And so all these will be gone, but these will be in 604. These will be Dr. Sanders, and that one will be gone. So, yeah. Now, we won't have any 2s in the fall other than course by arrangement, and we may do some of that. What we may do, I think we'll make a 602 in the fall. I know you say, well, how can you make a 602 if you don't have a 601 in the summer? We have we had 20 come back, and I think we'll have a big bunch come back in the fall too, of the add-ons that want to come back and get the 2 and the 4 to get their second master's degree. I think there'll be enough of those that, I mean, this semester we would have made 2. We could have made 2. We had 20 of those. And so I think we'll definitely make a 602 in the fall of the returning students. Now, that job, you know, we don't pay enough. I understand that. But now that job is, that's a good job when you don't have to do evidence artifacts with it. You just do the content, and 2 and 4 with them. And so, but I feel certain we'll make at least one of them, and we'll probably make a 604 as well. So that's kind of projecting down the road. The numbers look strong. They look good. The EDCI has been a hit, seriously. We had 24 of those this semester. We've already made cohorts for the summer, and one for the summer and one for the fall. We thought that they'd run out after this spring and we wouldn't make one this summer, or if we made one in the summer, we wouldn't make one in the fall, and we've made one in both already. So I guess that's fairly successful. We're having good success with students coming back. Our numbers are strong. Heather White emailed me a few minutes ago. She's from Gaffney. She made 160 on her praxis. 146 is passing. She made 160. So we're still at 100% passing rate. South Carolina people on the practice. So something's going well. I don't know what it is, but something's going well. But I'm very proud of how well they're doing. It's because of you folks doing a good job with instruction and class. That's what I'm excited about, is the instruction in the class is good, and because the outcomes are good. I mean, not only are they doing great work, I don't know if Steve Marie's on tonight or not, but you know, Steve's now grading for us, and he's just amazed at the quality of the work. I talked to him earlier today. He's seeing the work, you know, through fresh eyes. He hadn't been in the program grading for a while, and he's come back in, but after all the revisions, he's just amazed at the quality of the work, the written work. That's a good indicator of how well our students are doing, or how well you're doing as instructors. But also, our students are knocking it out of the park on the praxis. They're just breezing through it.
Jenna, are you taking a shower?
That makes me happy. That makes me happy that our outcomes are good. Kate was here. Everything was good with Kate. They were very excited about the things that we're doing, and so we've got some issues in other areas, but we'll work on those. That's not the MELS problem. We're doing well in those pieces, and so it's almost like things are going too good. But I never complain about success. The numbers are strong. The work is good. The instruction is great. You know, I say all that to say this: make sure this summer that we're online 10 times with these people. Now, if you have to split it up with your coach, or if your coach says no, or if you can give them something to do on their own that week, that's okay with me. But make sure they're doing something all 10 weeks. Let's not coast on them in the summertime. You know, we came online with them, and I've kind of convinced the 601.
Yes, it was quite. I was fine.
I was trying to convince the 601s not to take any time off, and
I do when y'all aren't here.
You know, to not take time off in May. We'll give them some time in August. You know, we finish now the last week in July, and we can give them some time, but they've got to push on through, especially those 601s that are going into 603. They've got to push on through and get through summer school, and then they can take a little break. But you know, we just need to, you know, it's a never ending task. We have to stay with them all the time. We have to continue to push. Good instruction. Summer school can't be a time off. And we need to provide quality instruction in summer and make sure that we keep them engaged in summer school. Now, I know that's hard, but we need to do our part to keep them engaged in summer school so that we don't come out of summer as we have sometimes in the past, where basically everybody's taking the summer off, us included, and then we pay for it in the fall. Or they try to catch it all up in the month of August, which that doesn't work either. So we just got to hammer on through, and then we'll all get some time off in August. Kind of the point. So let's not ease up just cause it's summer school. We got things rolling now. Students, our on-time completion rate is good. Our turn-in rate, our competency rate, all that's good. Where we sometimes slip is summer. And we always are using 3 cycles of data. So summer is always factored into our statisticals. Always. Now everybody knows, and especially Barbara knows more about this than I do. The state has adopted the CAPE standards as for us as our standards to continue to be licensed by them to provide these programs. So when I talk about CAPE all the time, I hope everybody understands that CAPE means DPI now. That to keep providing. See, DPI was here right along with CAPE. They were actually here more days than CAPE was. What's her name? Teresa Coogan. Danny met her, and I'm sure y'all probably met her when y'all were on campus for the CAPE visit. You met young lady, young woman, Teresa Coogan, DPI. But the point of the story is our statisticals are always based on 3 cycles of data, always. So that means we can't hide summer school anymore. Summer school is always going to be factored in, no matter what semester it is. Summer school, we're always going to carry those statisticals with us. They're going to be factored in. They look at a cycle of 3, and then that last one drops off, and we pick up the new one. So but the way it works, obviously, we'll always have summer school counting in our cycles of data. And that's one of the things that they've highlighted for us is you can't just have success in spring and fall. If you're offering programs in the summer, they expect the same success rate in the summer as they do in the spring and the fall. So that's why we've had to talk about don't pass them on. We'll get killed at the end of the summer on our statisticals. If we pass them out in the spring and they're not ready and they can't finish, and things not going to go well this summer, we'll need to drop them back into an audit situation, because that summer data is what's been killing us. Really and truly, it's the summer data that's been knocking us for a loop, because we always have to count it's always going to be there in the way they do it now. So can't let up in the summer. We can take some time off in August, and then we'll get together. All right. I think that's everything that I had tonight. I've actually gone, I was a little late getting on again. I apologize. There's a little storm. I don't know if it was Gardner Webb's email or my connection. But anyway, I hate being late, but we got on tonight. Is there anything else that I've missed? Oh, I got to remind you that on commencement on May the 11th is at 3 o'clock for us. They've gone back again and split it into two. It's going to have 2 graduations, one at 10 and one at 3. They said they were going to quit doing that, but they capitulated again. I guess somebody complained. I don't know how much money it is, but it's a lot, so that we don't have, but they're going to do it. So our 10 o'clock graduation has been moved to 3 o'clock. Make sure all of our students and all your interns know that. I put out copious emails. I put out announcements, and the registrar's office has got in touch with them, and they had it built into the information they've given them. But remind everybody that our graduation is at 3 o'clock, and there will be a reception. I've been told, I asked this, now I've been told they're still going to do a 4 o'clock reception or so, whenever we get done. We're still going to do a reception with them at Tucker. Now, we don't have any add-ons on cycle to be there. And I did not invite the EDCI people to come to the reception to pick up their certificate, because some of them have already graduated. Some of them are still doctorals in EDCI. They'll be graduating from that program. And so I did not, my plan is the 24 that participated in the add-on licensure program this semester from EDCI, the doctoral students, my plan is just to mail them theirs. But we will have all those students who graduate this time will come to the reception. So if we have any add-ons, my point being, if we have any add-on licensure students, they are invited to come. We may not have their certificate since that it's off cycle. It may just have to be mailed to them, but they can come to the reception. So, no, the registrar's office did not plan for any of those people to actually physically receive their certificate on May the 11th. Their plan for them was to be mailed later on with the EDCI people. So, but 3 o'clock reception to follow for our graduates. I'd love for all of you to come, wear your regalia. If you need one, we can rent you one. And so, and come to the after party over at Tucker. That's big for us. Students love that. We have a wonderful picture there in Craig Hall on the steps in the Tucker Center from the group. I guess it was this summer when we had that large group, and the steps are all full. I mean, it's a very impressive picture, and everybody's happy and waving. The feedback on giving them certificates, I mean, that's been worth $1 million in advertising. I hate we just weren't able to get it done sooner, but they love it. We've had a lot of students that have reached out, that former students, and we're ordering for former students as well who finished the add-on program in years past. We're ordering certificates for them if they request them. That's been a good PR move, and the ones that are in the program now love it. And the EDCI people, I'm sure they'll be happy when they get theirs as well.
All right, Dale, will you still have us to come to Craig and then walk across about 2:30?
Yep, about 2:30. We'll collect up at Craig. I'm sure they'll want us to come to the morning session. They like for the old graybeards to come walking in. It looks impressive. If they knew us, it wouldn't be, but we look impressive in our regalia. So I'm guessing we'll have to walk in for the morning as well, even though we won't have any. They normally make us come to both of them, but we'll be done in time that I'll be back. I'll be back probably at 2 o'clock at Craig, and then we'll fix our hair and put our bow ties on and walk over about 2:30 as we normally do. And then I'll check with Lou Ann in the auditorium, the final list, to make sure it's all, that everybody's on it that's supposed to be. And then we'll line up and we'll march in at 3. Yeah, I think that's probably it. All right. Anybody have anything else? I see Malia's on with us. She's I muted her, but Malia I've got a new person being hired, and they're going to be working this summer on the new 602. And the good thing is we don't have to roll it out until spring. They'll get started looking at it this summer, and that gives them the fall a little time to work on it, and see how it's going to go. And they might try some of that stuff out on if I'm sure we'll make a 602 of the returning add-ons, and they can kind of use them as to do a test run on that. But yeah, 602 will be under revision. We just finished 3. Dr. Sanders just finished 4. Steve's working on, we'll roll it out 5. Danny just did 1. So, it's a continual rotation of improving. I appreciate all of your input, going to conferences, bringing information back. We have to stay relevant and current if we're going to keep up with all the standards, and the work product is going to keep up. So that's very important. I think we've got everything. We'll meet with KTA Wednesday this week as we normally do, but right now the numbers still look good unless something goes really bad. I'm looking for 2 and 6. I'm just being redundant now, but I'm just making sure I run through everything. I've got my list here that I'm looking at. So I think I've covered everything I needed to. And I appreciate y'all coming on back with me. I hadn't planned to come on next Monday because everybody, you should get your grades in. Try to get your grades in by next Monday. They're due by next Wednesday, but try to get them in by Monday. That's why I'm not going to come online. If nothing else, work on them on Monday and try to get them in. So I won't come online next week. We'll come on the following week, and 2 weeks from today, we'll come on again. And I should have information hopefully about, we're going to, let's see, today's the 29th, 30th. We're going to have our assessment day, I think, on Thursday, the 8th. Is that the right? I don't have my calendar handy. It's Thursday, the 8th. Somebody's got their calendar handy. Let me grab mine. So we're going to be doing the assessment day that day. What I'm hoping is when we come out of that day, I'll know when our summer professional development will be. When, where, and how. If it's going to be.
We can't hear you, Dale.
Place. Do what?
We couldn't hear what you were saying.
All right. So what I'm looking at, supposedly, yeah. On May the 8th, we're May the 8th and then the 13th. And so my plan is for us to meet again on the 13th. And the reason why is by then I should know what we're going to do this summer in August for our staff development. I don't know that yet. We're going to meet on the 8th, and then that'll be our last faculty meeting of the spring as the School of Ed. And then we'll meet our last day that we'll get together physically with that group will be that Monday the 13th for assessment day. And coming out of those two functions, there's some planning that goes on those days, and we get together and everybody. So I should know by Monday afternoon at 6 o'clock or Monday evening, 2 weeks from today, I should know what we're going to do in terms of our staff development in August, whether it's going to be a virtual day or whether it's going to be y'all come to campus day. But I should know by 6 o'clock on the 13th is my plan. That's why we're not meeting again until then. There's a lot that goes into that. Everybody's schedules have to kind of mesh together. There's a lot more people other than me that has input on how they want to do it and when they want to do it. And it usually takes 2 days of hammering it out, that Thursday and Monday, to get all that decided. And so when I know, you'll know. My vote would be everybody come together in August would be my vote. And us meeting Craig, if we're not going to do something big, if it's not going to be attached to the CILD, which it won't be this year because that's taking a different direction. I'd like for us all to get together in August there in Craig, and we could meet in room 214, which is a big, nice room, or we could meet down in the Spark, and we could do the face-to-face staff development that we need to do to make sure that we're doing all things we're supposed to. I think we could do it in one day. I think it wouldn't have to be too early a day. I think we could do it in a way that we could drive in the morning, do it that day, finish, have dinner, and spend the night and go home the next day, something like that. I kind of like that model. I don't like driving at night. I'd rather get up early in the morning and drive in, spend the day, then have dinner, and then being able to spend the night and get up the next day and drive. That's the way I like to do it. That's the way we did for Cape. That seemed to go real well for Cape. Where everybody didn't have to be there till noon, and we had lunch, and that's how we started. That would be how I'd like to do it. Now, whether they'll let us do it or not, and then we'd have from 12 to 5 to knock it out, go to dinner, spend the night, and go home. That's going to be my recommendation. I don't know if that'll be followed or not. Young people that don't mind driving at night, they don't like that. But I don't. I prefer getting up early in the morning and driving, as opposed to driving at night. But we'll see how that goes. So that's what we'll do. Thank you all for joining me. Stay after them. Let's get as many through as we can. That's our responsibility. As I used to tell teachers in high school, their mama sent us the best ones they had. It's up to us. It's up to us to do something with them. Don't complain about them. I'm glad to have them. So I know that y'all are too, and I appreciate it. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Okay. Not everybody.